Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing an advanced review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things #1, the crossover you didn't know you wanted. And I'm very excited. IDW Dark Horse teaming up for this crossover. But before we get into it, let's take a look at the creative team behind this book. This is written by Cameron Chittock, art by Fero, colors by Sofie, Dogson, and letters by Wooton. Apologies for any mispronunciation of the names, but I am very excited. These are two properties that I love on different levels. I think I'm a bigger Turtles fan than Stranger Things fan. I'm actually not really caught up with the series, but you don't need to be caught up with the series for this to make sense at all. In this issue 11, Max, Dustin, Mike, Will, and Lucas are looking forward to a non-threatening, fun-filled trip to New York. Good luck with that, kids. With the gang hundreds of miles from Hawkins, they're sure to catch a break this time. That is, until they encounter a threat both bizarre and familiar, and some allies that are just bizarre. This summer, the kids from Hawkins meet the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And what a delightful book this turned out to be. You know, the story obviously takes place in 1985, so in the 80s, which gives it that Stranger Things feel. The kids feel like they're right out of after season one. I think that's when Max came in, maybe at the end of season one, maybe season two. I don't remember. It's been a little while. But you diehard fans sure know. So yeah, the group is back together. They go to this field trip. They're with their classmates. Of course, they get separated, and then as they go into the subway, they realize that they're being followed by a familiar threat that looks a little bit different. So let's go take a look at some preview art. You'll see what I'm talking about. And here we see, I love that the design of the book is it serves to emulate that feeling of watching the show, right? All the way down to like a title card for the chapter. The character designs, I love that they don't need to be photorealistic, but you get enough to figure out. I mean, other than Dustin looks pretty photorealistic, but yeah, I think other than like you get all the little clues to tell you which one of those characters is um, which is really cool. I forgot to mention I love the cover, like how you see the turtles and like kind of the upside down, but really they're in the sewers. Just a really neat comparison of the group and the turtles. Really just a property that really lends itself to crossover with really anything. The turtles have crossover with many different properties, so it really makes them kind of like the tie to the bigger multiverse, really. But that's for another video. And yeah, as I mentioned, we get to see here um, some of these little creatures that we're familiar with, but they look a little different. They have some mechanical stuff to them, so they're not exactly the things that we're used to dealing with, right? Of course, Eleven's out in front, just trying to keep things calm using their powers. Unfortunately, there is no preview art of the turtles, but one thing I really loved is that because this issue takes place in the 80s, the turtles all have red bandanas, or the red, um, they are mimicking the original design from the Eastman and Laird comics from back in the day. The original designs, where it was black and white comics, and they all had red. Really, all their gear was red. The only way you could really tell them apart was because of their weapons. Obviously, once they animated into a show, they needed to keep them give them more distinct look for the cartoon, so that for the kids and the toys and all that. Real good documentaries and videos all about that. But I love that the team went back and decided to, at least for the first issue, use the original turtle designs. We see some covers that have the designs that we're more familiar with different colors for each turtle. Obviously, I want to know who is the threat on the side of the turtles, right? Because usually those villains kind of unite. If you've read some of these crossovers, like the Joker's working with the Shredder, or Rita Repulsa's working with the Shredder, and the Foot Clan, and all that stuff. So I want to know. I wonder if it's more of a space threat, if it's a Foot Clan thing, both. Like the turtles have so many different variety of villains that they faced over the years that any of them could be using these creatures from the Upside Down and the Demogorgon and all that for their own plans. The voices of the characters sound exactly like they should from the show. And the turtles, they really feel like the turtles that you would read back in the 80s. So they're not as quippy and as fun and as outgoing as you may be used to. And maybe that will evolve with the next few issues as they get familiar with the kids. Obviously, there's a little bit of animosity because the kids also don't know that, like, why are these turtles like sentient? They even, well, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but yeah, so like, what's going on, right? Obviously there's going to be conflict at the beginning, even though we know as the readers that uh, these two groups will probably end up working together. In this one, we know that they're not there yet. So highly enjoy this. I think this was really fun. Now, as with most of these crossovers, I'm probably going to read this as a trade. But I love checking out the number one to see if this is even something for me to put on my list. Definitely is. Definitely want to check this out further. And of course, there's a lot of really cool variant covers, so I'll probably end up buying a bunch of these books. So let me know what you thought about this issue once you get to read it. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Kawabunga.